Welcome to another episode of Your Voice Matters. Hello and welcome to another episode of Your Voice Matter. I'm Viv Cunningham with Preferred Real Estate Brokers selling the American Dream here in Central Florida. So today is Sunday, and it's Super Bowl Sunday. And my special guest today is going to be Anastasia. I'm going to have Anastasia introduce herself in a little bit, but let's talk a little bit about football, Anastasia. Now, do you watch football?
I'm watching it today.
All right, so that's how I'm doing it. I'm watching it today. I watch it every so often when I'm watching with my brother, but they're not here. One of them is back in New Jersey visiting, and the other one is someplace in Palm Bay. Someplace in Palm Bay, so he's not coming up today. But today is Super Bowl 57, okay?
Yes.
And I am excited. Is the Kansas City Chiefs, okay, in the house, along with Eagles National Football Conference Championship. Philadelphia Eagles. When I was in New Jersey, I used to love them, but my favorite team was still Miami Dolphins. So this is Super Bowl, and they're going to be playing this in Arizona, Glendale and Arizona. 6:30 is the kickoff. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be an awesome day. I can't wait to see like the halftime. I've been watching Rihanna for the past couple of days, and I didn't even know she was going to be on the Super Bowl halftime. But I'm so excited that she's from the island as well. I'm so excited that she's going to be on there. So I can't wait. I am excited to see what she's going to do on that halftime, and I'm also waiting to see some of those commercials. Those are like my favorite, just to watch some of those commercials. So I'm going to be enjoying this right after we're finished here. But we'll be here probably a little underneath an hour. And then after that, I go off to go watch my Super Bowl. But let's kick it off. But Anastasia, I invited Anastasia on, and Anastasia and I went to high school back in New Jersey. And I remember just coming from the island and, coming over here, in New York. And then all of a sudden I ended up in New Jersey, and I ended up in this place called Salt, Jersey, which is Vineland High School. And I met all these awesome people, and I've been going back to the reunions, and it's been awesome just meeting these people, seeing these people, just having fun with them. And I love just being with them. And when I come back home and I tell people, I said, how come you didn't come to the reunion? And they said, well, I didn't know anything about it, but we try to put it out there as much as can. But but anyway, I was in the nursing field, and I studied nursing when I was in high school, and I think Anastasia did as well, the same thing. But I spend time in the medical field for quite a while, but all of a sudden God called me into real estate, and this is where I am now. So I'm not in the medical field anymore. I've been in real estate 15 years, and I'm loving it, and I'm love living in Florida. So, but anyway, Anastasia, I'm going to have Anastasia introduce herself, and I'm going to have it. Anastasia is a certified divorce coach, and I'm going to have her talk to you about what to do when you find yourself that you needing someone like her. So Anastasia, introduce yourself and kick it off, girl.
Thank you, Miss Viv. And boy, I'm so excited to be here on Super Bowl Sunday, but let's talk about divorce. So I am a CDC certified divorce coach, divorce transition and recovery coach, in addition to a success and empowerment coach. I do have a 15-year history, as you said, as a clinical nurse. And then I embarked on a 19-year career in the pharmaceutical research and development industry.
Mm-hmm.
And that uniquely positioned me to become a life coach. So I retired from corporate America in 2019. And like yourself, the Lord called me to become a coach, to serve others in essence. So I am so enthusiastic about helping people navigate through their life's journey. I help my clients see what's truly possible through their journey and offer them support and encouragement, which we don't get from society today. And I listen very closely to my clients' needs and coach them to aspire to reach their highest potential. And I offer them a safe space and allowing them to be themselves. So I specialize in divorce, grief and loss, and spirituality. Those are my 3 pillars of service. But today we'll be speaking about divorce. So
Okay.
divorce, yes, yes. So unfortunately, divorce is a very traumatic life event, and the meaning, the safety, and the predictability of life are all altered. And these, in the wake of an onslaught of obstacles and intense emotions, that when our resources are limited, and so it rocks the nuclear family, the extended family, the social circle, our work, and our friends. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a background as to what I do, Vivian.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Because when I was talking to you, it was like the first time I've ever, I know I probably know that he was out there, but really and truly, I really never know that there was. I know there's a lot of coach for a lot of stuff, but I didn't really know that there was a coach for divorce.
Yes.
So
So
it
I
was
was
something new to me.
Yes. So I was very blessed to participate in the CDC training program. It's a specialized divorce training and recovery training, divorce recovery training, and it's based in Tampa, and it's run by Peggotty and Cooper and her husband, and it's a wonderful course. It's a very intense training, and to be a graduate of this program is it's like a kudos in your hat.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Now, what are some of the reason why you think that someone would actually need a divorce coach?
Well, they need someone in their corner. You know, a lot of times they go to an attorney and the attorney represents them, and that's all well and good. But sometimes, because divorce is so traumatic, and especially if you were served and you weren't expecting one, you weren't prepared, and you don't have the emotional wherewithal to deal with all the onslaught of information that you're given, and that all the things that you have to do. So a coach will help you be a credible client with your attorney.
Oh, wow. Now,
Yes.
what are the reason that you think that I would need one? What are the benefit of me hiring and working with you?
Yes. So there's three phases of divorce that you could enter with a divorce coach. There's the planning of divorce, the during divorce, and post divorce. So some of the reasons in the pre-divorce stage is maybe you're not sure if you want to get a divorce, and you want to be able to vocalize and get another person's feedback and some direction. Now, coaching does not give advice. We
Mm-hmm.
help the client find their own voice, but they sometimes don't know what to ask even of themselves. And during the divorce, we help them with things like preparing a budget, what to ask their attorney, and things like that. And then post divorce, some people have to enter the workforce again. So we help with career planning. And also, if they want to enter a new relationship, we help them with that as well.
Okay, so hiring a divorce coach, what is the first thing that someone would do if they wanted to hire a divorce coach?
Well, there's several ways to look for a divorce coach. You can do searches on the internet. You can go to the CDC Certified Divorce Coach Resource Center, and there's a list of divorce coaches who are certified. And of course, you can do just an internet search.
They said that not everything on the internet is true.
That's true.
So, what would make me want to go to the internet? Even though Google, we call it Mr. Google. Mr. Google
Mm,
has so much information out there, almost everything. Because if I want to know something about somebody, I go Google them. But what will make me want to go to the internet? And then this is such a delicate topic and delicate everything for my family, for everything. What would make me just want to go out there and choose somebody from the internet?
well, you would want to choose someone who's accredited, right? That's certified. So you would look for that certification information on their website.
So
does that help? Does that answer your question, Vivian? And maybe
okay,
I don't
okay.
understand.
So I would actually have to go to their website now. Is there a to when you're a coach, is there a license that you actually you have to register with the state or something? Like I'm a realtor, so then
Yes.
therefore if you go on DBPR, you will actually find my information, and it'll find that I'm active. It'll find that what year my license was. It'll find out all of that information. So being a coach, is there a certain platform, is there some place that you can go that all the information is stored on, where you can say, okay, well, I'm going to look at these three, and I'm going to call these three, I'm going to see if they're a good fit for me and my family? Is there such database?
So the coaching industry at this time is not regulated. However, there is a guiding body, the International Coaching Federation, and you would want to look for a coach that displays the ICF, the International Coaching Federation badge, that they're a member of that. And that indicates that they ascribe to the highest standards of the industry.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Mhm.
At least that's good to know. Now, financially, we know that it's such a pitfall for when you go through a divorce. Now, how do you help people to actually to actually go through the process of okay, so separating the stuff, okay, so let's say you have a house that you need to sell. How do you
Mhm.
actually help them to say, okay, well, I know when you go to the court, they'll say, okay, well, you have 2 years to sell the house, or you have the. How do you kind of help them to guide to say, okay, they're so scared and don't know what to do? Because I've gone through that before, and it was kind of scary, where I had the pool that I had to take care of, I had the grass that I had to take care of, and then I was so scared to go take care of the pool. How do you actually guide them and help them to say, okay, the financial part of it, okay, so how do you survive? How do how do you teach them to survive through that financial? Now everything is split, two
Yes.
ways, and it's not coming together anymore. And now each person is probably pretty much living on one salary compared to living on two salary, which makes it difficult. How do you help guide them through all of the pitfall of the financial part of it?
So, working with a team of resources, right? In addition to attorneys, we work with realtors, certified divorce financial analysts, therapists, social workers. There's a gamut of professional resources that a certified divorce coach will help you identify and network with. So those, especially the CDFA, the Certified Divorce Financial Analyst, uh, I always recommend also working with them, because they will help you not only with a budget, but they will help you with your selling a home, or being able to even know if you could afford that home and
Mhm.
what the best options are for you.
Oh, wow. That
Yes.
it's a tough situation,
It's a team approach.
Yes,
If
yes.
people would look at it in a team approach, just like real estate agents work with title agencies and things like that, you don't do it alone. It takes a village, right?
Yes, yes, it takes a village. So that means you have a team of people. Like with me, I have a team of people, depending if I'm doing international sales, or I'm doing local sales. So let's say, just like you said, we have the title company, we have the realtor, I might have a
Yes.
transaction coordinator, I might have an assistant. So what kind of team do you have together to help these people? So you're the coach. Okay, so then where do they go? Who else is on that team?
The attorney, the financial analyst,
Hmm.
sometimes they'll have a realtor, um, the social worker or a counselor. Sometimes we work in conjunction with each other, but uh, coaching is not counseling. So I
Right.
want to make that very, very clear. Let me just get a list here of other professionals that I work with. Um, Sometimes accountants,
Okay.
realtors, brokers, attorneys, mediators
Yes.
are also very important
Yes.
in the
Yes.
process.
That mediator is sure is really important in the process of seeing where you go, and I guess that's why they call it mediate, because they're in the middle to mediate, to make sure that they get everything all worked out. So that's really important, and I know it's terrifying. You know, I got me and my husband, my daughter's father got divorced, and it was scary. It was
Yeah.
scary, you know, just thinking about being a single parent. Now, do they have like support groups out there for you? Are you connected with support groups for like parents, for men and women? Because I know you do both. You know,
Hmm.
do you have like somebody that you can say, okay, well, I have a team of people here. I have a man to represent the man, and I have a woman to represent the woman. Do you have somebody like that where you can say, okay, I'm gonna recommend this person to you where they can help guide you through it? Because as in
So I never have just one resource because the client should have a choice,
mhm.
right? So we'll identify several people in that certain area. For example, I can coach nationwide and actually globally as well. But I will help the client identify those ancillary team members.
Okay, that's good. So you have a list of people that you can always pull up easily, so you can
Hmm.
refer. Now, do you have like do you do it by yourself, or do you have, like with me, I have like, buyer's agent and things like that that can help me out. Do you have people that surround you where you can say, okay, these are my team of people, and then I meet with them, weekly to say, okay, I have these people and then they need your help.
So I have a team of various individuals. My team is growing as my practice grows. So I don't have everyone in place at this time,
Hmm.
but I know where to find them for
Okay,
sure.
awesome. That's good. That's good. Now,
Yes.
now, what are the different types of divorce that people go through? Because I don't know if I didn't know that that there's different types. Is there different types that you go through?
Yes, yes, definitely. So there's the traditional divorce. Hold on, let me find there's the pro se divorce,
Mm-hmm.
which that is where each party represents themselves. Okay. There's the traditional representation where each party hires their own attorney. There's mediation, where they'll meet with a family mediator who is a neutral party, and they will help the client and spouse reach an agreement. And then there's a collaborative divorce where the client and spouse choose a professional to help them reach the settlement out of court. However, they each must have their own representation. Does that
Okay.
help you?
It helped, because I always tell people when I'm teaching, I teach the first time home buyers class here once a month. And I always tell people, say you should always have two different real estate agents. Just like when you're selling a house, you have a real estate agent. You might have a real estate agent for the buyer side, or you might have a real estate agent for listing side. I always tell people, I say, do you use the same divorce attorney for if you were getting a divorce? Do you understand what I'm saying? If you're getting a
Yes.
divorce, wouldn't you get your own attorney? Because one attorney can't represent two persons that's getting the same divorce.
Yeah. Well, in a collaborative situation, sometimes or if you do a pro se, sometimes you can get the one attorney who will represent both people.
So
Yeah.
so you
But
can so you can actually have a divorce, and the one attorney represent two people.
it's not very common, but
Okay.
sometimes that does happen. The most common is the trial litigation where each person gets their own attorney, but the judge makes the decision.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow. I saw, I was reading on your some of your information. It says there's three phases of divorces. Can you talk a little bit about those for me?
Yes. So there's the pre-divorce, with the pre-separation and
Mm-hmm.
divorce. There's the actual during and restructuring of the family, which one of the things that we help do at that point is come up with the family plan, and then the post-divorce and the rebuilding. So during the divorce, it's very important to understand the impact of that divorce has on the person's life and figuring out where to start. It's deciding on a process for reaching a settlement agreement, and then getting organized to serve your spouse or to be served the divorce papers. So that's one area. Also thinking through the parental plan and the parental decisions, and communicating and managing conflict. And that's one thing that as a divorce coach, we help our clients do. We studied the limbic system in school and the fight and flight response. And so we get down to the root of the problem. Post-divorce, we help clients take on new roles. They, instead of being stuck, they let go, help create their new relationships, redefine their career and co-parenting plans.
Okay. You also were talking about things that you do before and during a divorce. What are some of the things that you would do? Well, I mean, I would say during the divorce, because before, a lot of time you don't really know that you're going to get a divorce, you know, even though you could be doing something like you could be doing premarital counseling if you're having problem. Maybe you could talk about a little bit about how, you know, if you were, let's say and you were having difficulty. Let's start off at the difficult part of it, where you are fussing and you're fighting and you're sleeping in a separate bedroom or something like that. Let's start off with that a little bit, and then talk about a little bit like what do you do during and what do you do after divorce. It's these three different sections.
Yeah. So sometimes during the when you're fighting and you're sleeping in different rooms, I will help the client with role playing, right? Because sometimes our words, what we say and what someone hears are two different things. So I'll work with them through a process where I'll say, this is what you said. What do you think your spouse is hearing? Okay. And then we'll work through that and we'll role play and we'll say, well, how would you word this differently? So to be a gentle, kinder person. Okay. Because sometimes we say things out of malice or frustration. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Words hurts.
Yeah, words hurt. You can't take them back. They cut like a knife, right?
Yes, for sure. Yes.
So that is one aspect that I can work with. That's just one of my toolbox of things.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was the before. Okay, so that was the before about kind of more like mentoring them. Okay, so how do you help them like during the process of getting the divorce? Okay.
So I help them clarify their story, okay, so that when they go to their attorney, I always encourage my clients to come to me with a journal and to take notes so that they know what to ask their attorney. So as they're telling me the story, for example, my husband did X, Y, and Z, and it's very, very important. I said, write that down, share that with your attorney. And then they continue in their story and they have a question. Well, can I make him leave or does he have to stay? Write that down for the attorney. I am not an attorney. I stay in my lane. I'm not a counselor. I stay in my lane. A counselor will counsel. A coach will coach.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's just like with me, what I do when being a realtor, what I do is lender. A lot of buyers will come and ask me questions about lenders. I say, I'm not your lender. Go back to your lender and ask your lender. What different kind of loan? Why are you getting this loan? I says, ask your lender. Your lenders won't tell you that. Lenders don't share that information, the private information with a realtor. All the realtor do is negotiate that, get that right house for them, negotiate that offer and get the deal to closing. So I don't do what the title company do, and I don't do what the lender do. You know, everyone has to stay in their own lane. And you're so right about staying in your own lane, because it's so important you staying in your own lane, because they can't say, well, Anastasia said I should do this.
Absolutely. We don't give advice.
Yeah. Now the post-divorce, what do you do with the post-divorce? We talked about the beginning, we talk about the middle, and what do you do with the post? Once they finish getting the divorce and the divorce is finalized, how do you help them to handle that part of it?
Well, what if, Vivian, they're still stuck in their story? Oh, I'm divorced. I don't know what to do. I'm so angry. I have this plethora of emotions that I haven't been able to work through. I help the clients work through that. Or maybe they've met someone and it's been 20 years since they've dated. They don't know how to enter the dating realm again. So I help with that and ground them, because, in some respects, sometimes people will jump in relationships, rapidly, and they may not be emotionally ready to be their best self during that relationship. And
Yeah.
then career, if they have to or want to re-enter the career force again, I help them with we'll guide them to someone that helps them do their resume and things like that, and role play with questions and things that they ask during interviews and things like that, to prepare them so that they are their best self when they present to the world. They're not saying, oh, I just got over this terrible divorce. They're like, you know what? My name is Anastasia and I just got divorced and I'm ready to conquer life.
Well, I like that. I like that saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're when you work, do you okay, so let's say you're mentoring me, you're coaching me. What are your hours? Can I just all of a sudden, I'm having a difficult time and it's Sunday afternoon, can I pick up the phone and give you a call and says, Anastasia, I am having a rough time. I am so depressed. I feel like, I just want to go off the deep end. Do you try to make yourself available as much as possible for your coaching clients?
Okay, so that's a great question, Vivian. So let me go back one question you haven't answered. So one of the things I recommend for everyone is to schedule a discovery call, and that will give you some time with the coach that you've identified, and you will work through all these things. They'll get to know me, and I'll get to know the client and see if we're a good fit, first of all, because some people don't blend, let's face it, right? So during that discovery call, I share with them what my hours are. I have a calendar. I have a Calendly link. They can make the appointment for the discovery call and the coaching sessions ahead of time. The coaching sessions I schedule at a minimum of 24 hours in advance. Now, having stated that, I am available on text and email and off hours. Obviously, I'm not going to interrupt if I'm with another client, with a text or whatever, and I'll answer those as best I can. I personally try to keep Sundays as my day of recharging, so I'm usually not available on Sundays.
Okay, that's good. I always learn you teach people how to treat you, and just like you
Yes,
said, you share in your calendar with them. They know when to contact you and when not to contact you. So
exactly.
so that is really important for you to, just like you said, you schedule a call with them so they know what to expect from you.
Hmm. And
So
then a coaching session would go something like this. Miss Vivian, what would you like to take away from this session? Well, I haven't been sleeping at night. Well, what things are you doing good for yourself? What self-care are you practicing and things like that? And we'll dig down deeper, and then the client will come up with what they're going to do about it. But I ask the right questions that are in
question.
my toolbox that help them identify. Sometimes they don't even know. And just by talking through and then journaling, I encourage everyone to journal.
That's great. Yeah, just about every coaching thing that I go through, program that I go through, they always say you should be journaling. Not that I do it, okay? Not that I do it, but I have all kinds of textbook right here that I write in. Every book, I have a book for the talk, I have a book for my coaching, I have a book for whatever. So it's not necessarily journaling. I'm just jotting down things in and jotting down notes in it and stuff like that. But it is so important for you to be doing a journal. My daughter, she wrote a book. And all because she was journaling. She as a matter of fact, she wrote more than one book, all because she was journaling. She remembered, she write down those things, because unless it's a really milestone in your life, a lot of time you're not going to remember all of that stuff. So it's so important that you tell them and remember them to journal, because they 2 years, 3 years down the line, they might not remember on a Sunday that all of a sudden somebody whacked them upside the head and and things like that. So it's important to tell them things like that, because a lot of time we don't know it. And
Right.
that's why you're the coach, because that's why you're coaching us. You're coaching people to say, okay, you need to journal, and that's where a lot of great books come from, journaling.
Well, and we have so much technology available to us. Like, say you're lying in bed one night and you really can't sleep, you pick up your phone and do a voice journal. say, you know what, this is what's on my mind. I may not remember it in the morning, but you don't want to turn the light on anymore and write something down. You just put it into your voice recorder, or when you have an emotion like that, and you can capture it. There's so many ways. There's actually, I believe there's even journals for journal apps that people can use if they don't want to keep a verbal journal. A written journal, rather.
Yeah, that's good. Journal apps. Yeah, that's good. I didn't even think about that. I know I have recorded stuff, but I call it a recorder. But you're calling it a journal app, which is great. So that's really good. Now, with how do you deal with recovering from a high conflicted divorce? How does one deal with that situation? You're not really a movie star or something like that, but you might be. Let's say you're a newscaster in the area, and all of a sudden you and your spouse get a divorce. How do you bounce back from, and I'm talking about bouncing back because I'm talking about friends, because don't forget, when you're married, you share the same friends. How do you deal with something like that, where you're sharing the same friends? Now all of a sudden, you're going to be broken apart from those friends that you're normally used to. How does one deal with that?
So that's a tough area, Vivian. So some of the things that, when I alluded to earlier in our conversation, that there's grief and loss in this situation, because especially when you have friends or even family members, they will have a tendency to side with one part of the couple or the other. And also, a lot of times people think divorce is catchy. They say, "Oh, John and Judy got divorced. We better stay away from them because we're going to get divorced too." And that's not really true, but it does seem like it sometimes. So for high conflict divorce, specifically for high conflict divorces, there are coaches that do specialize in that area. And by going to the CDC website, you can do a search for coaches that specifically handle high conflict divorce or high wealth divorce, or there's a lot, or faith-based divorces. There's coaches for every situation. So I encourage your listeners to go to the CDC website. That's not the Centers for Disease Control. It's divorce coaching. Yes.
Yeah, that's why we're taught not to use initials, because it could mean something else, or that they changed it. So yeah, that's why when I'm talking about National Association of Realtor, we used to say NAR, and my coach says no, you need to say National Association of Realtors, so people know actually what you do. So you get you end up saying the whole thing. But you're right about that. High profile attorney or high profile coaching or something like that. It's just like with getting with being a celebrity, and then all of a sudden you're getting a divorce. You usually use a high profile. If you get it, if you kill somebody, you use a high profile attorney. So yeah, so I understand that part where stay in your lane. You say stay in your lane. Which is important. Now, a few more questions. Now, what would something like, how do you structure the costs in order to, I know a divorce is expensive unless you go downtown and do it yourself, but how do you structure the cost of, how do you charge them? Do you charge them by the hour? Do you charge them a flat fee?
I charge by packages, right? Okay. So I have packages that help you get through the bumps. They're in like packages of 3. I have packages of 8 and packages of 12 sessions, and they're priced accordingly. So you can just reach out to me and we'll have that discussion one-on-one.
Okay, so yes. So each individual is different. It's when you talk to the person, that's how you know what their needs are going to be.
Yes.
Yeah. Now do you have like a, because what I do is, being a realtor, I have like a list of questions that I would ask that I would tell buyers to ask their realtors. So do you when it comes up, let's say there was 3 and they didn't choose you, and there's 3 people. and you're up against two other person, do you have like a list of questions when they come to you and maybe they're vetting you and interviewing you and says, are you fit for me? Do you have a list of questions that you can give them that said, okay, like with me, some of these questions is how long you've been practicing? Okay, what brought you into the line of work, which you did tell me what brought you in the line of work. Do you have like a questionnaire that you would say, okay, these are some of the questions that you need to ask the person who you're going to be interviewing, making sure that they were fit for you?
I don't, but I don't, but that's a good thing for me possibly to consider doing. However, I do strongly urge people when they work with coaches to work with only certified coaches.
Okay.
Because they've gone through, a lot of times people say, well, because it's not a regulated industry, they'll hang a sign that say, I'm a coach. And they think that's giving advice. And that is so far from what coaching is. So look for someone who's gone through an accredited program. I've gone through 2 accredited programs thus far, through the Coach Training Alliance and through the Certified Divorce Coach Training. So I'm very well suited to be a coach.
Awesome. Now, is there any questions or anything we didn't talk about that you think that would be good for somebody that is listening to this podcast? And I see someone is listening to it. Is there anything that you would talk about when I came into your session? What are some good tidbits you would give me? And let's say I came into you for the first time and I am kind of feeling you out to see if you are a fit for me, because not just a Zoom conversation, but I actually came into your office and I want to give you a try. Is there any question that I didn't ask you, that you think is important for them to know?
Well, first of all, Viv, it's important to know that all my sessions are done via Zoom.
Okay.
Or telephone call. Okay. So it's a virtual office.
Okay.
And so that's number one. Number 2 is the most important thing in a coach-client relationship is for the client and the coach to be their authentic selves.
Yes.
Okay. Not to hold anything back, because, the third thing is, I will not support anyone who's doing any type of criminal activity. If you're withholding funds from your spouse or you're hiding assets and I get wind of that, I will drop you as a client.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to stay ethical, right?
Yeah, be transparent.
And be transparent, exactly.
And I like that you said it's only one you. You are you, and there's no one else that can become you. God created one of us, one Anastasia, one Vivian. Even if somebody else has the same identical name with me, or even if I'm a twin, God still only created one of us. And it's for us to be our best self out there, no matter what it is. Just like you talk about the criminal part of it, we were hiding stuff. Be fair, be reasonable. I've gone through it where my spouse was saying that he wanted half of my 401k or whatever it was like that, and I said, heck no, you ain't getting none of that, because I'm the one that works for that. But they knew it was there. The attorney knew it was there, and then it came to the point where I didn't have to divide it because it was mine, and that's the way it was.
Right.
Once they figured out back and forth. But it's okay to split everything the way it's supposed to be split, and be kind. Be kind to each other. Be nice.
And be kind to your children.
Yes.
Don't use them as pawns.
Yes.
In divorce, because you want an emotionally healthy child when the divorce is done.
That's it. Yeah. Don't use them as a spy by saying, you tell somebody something and you tell them something, and then you they go back to their father. What did you do this weekend? What did you do this weekend? I love that my daughter and her ex-husband, they get along so well now. Before they didn't get along, but they get along so well now. But she had to divide. She had to either sell the house or buy him out, which she did. She bought him out, so it worked out that way. But I love the way they get along now, where they're able to, she's able to send the kids over there, and they have such a great relationship. I love that guy. They have such a great relationship, but before they didn't. So that's what I like to see when you're going through something like that. Be nice to each other, be kind to each other, because you know what? Those kids are watching, and those kids are you're growing those kids up. And if you're mean, those kids can grow up just as mean as you are, whatever, however you're treating your ex-spouse, or however way you're treating your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's really important. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on, Anastasia, about this getting a divorce? Is there anything that is important that you think that they need to know?
Just not. I haven't thought of anything at this time. Can I share how they can reach me?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So my website is theseraphimlifecoach.com, and you can reach me at Anastasia at the Seraphim Life Coach. And Vivian will have the information at the end of this recording.
Yeah, I'll put it in the comment section below for anyone that needs any information on her. I will put it in once it stops. So, but great stuff. I appreciate you joining me on Super Bowl Sunday. You know, and I appreciate and it's great to see you every time I see it at the reunion. It's just awesome to see everyone. You look well. You know, you're doing well. And
it's only our 10th year reunion, right?
Yep. Yep. It's only I mean, it's been awesome. It was so great graduating out of South Jersey, Vineland High School.
Yes, go Vineland, go.
Yes, go. Yeah, the red and the gray, and the gray. Yeah, you know. But it's so awesome going back there and driving through the city and just seeing the different things and stuff like that. And it says, "Wow, I grew up here."
Yes.
You know, I grew up here, but it's been awesome. I really thank you. I appreciate you, girl. I appreciate you coming on, and enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. I'm gonna do a little bit of advertisement here right now. It said, leave any topic and comments in the comment section below. Anastasia will be happy to answer those for you. She will be, if we didn't answer it today, you can always leave it, because she can always go back and answer them coming up, you know, once you leave it in the chat. I will make sure she gets to them once I see them. And if she doesn't see them, I'll make sure she answers them for you. But coming up, our events is Meet Me Here. Every first Saturday, I will let you know the venue. So stay tuned for that. And normally it's at a local venue from 5 to 7. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. I also have my home buyers class that's on every first week of the month. So if you're looking to purchase a home, I'll be happy to have you. That's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. I look forward to having you guys on that. If you're looking into purchasing a home, anything to do with homes, just contact me. Okay, I'll be happy to have you. Okay. We also have One Love Reggae Festival coming up. That's going to be on February 25th in Groveland at Bridget Bennett's law firm in that area there, right by Lake David. So, and my global panel is coming up. Anastasia talk about building a team. So therefore, this is going to be building your global team, whatever it is that you need. If you need a real estate attorney, if you need a lawyer, all of that stuff from a different country, you know, we have all of that stuff. So we're talking about building it. So show up. Call to action. My call to action is going to be what? You're going to find a link below in the comment section. So if you need a copy of my buyer's book, I'm going to also put it in a link I have a book here, Anastasia. Let's see if I can find it. What did I do with it? Oh my goodness, I can't find the book. Here it is. Look, divorce book.
Oh my, that's great.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this in the link below. See it? I put it in the link below, so you guys can have a copy of it if you're looking and you need to know what to do. Anastasia covers a whole bunch of topics in between, and then there's a lot of information in this book as well. What to do before, what to do after, and stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch of information there. So I look forward to you guys subscribing and letting me know that you want a copy of that. But I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Remember, have the best day of your life, because tomorrow is not promised to you. Never know when it's going to be your last. Remember to treat people well, be kind. You know, no matter if you're going through a divorce, whatever that you're going through, be kind to people, because you never know. People know how you treat them, and they remember how you treat them. They remember how kind you are. You know, be out there, be God's guidance, be God hands and foot. Go out there and be a light in a dark world, you know, because that's what Anastasia is doing. She's bringing light into the community, making your life better, making your children's life better, making your family life better. So that's what it's all about. I thank her for joining. I thank her for coming. I see you guys next time on the next episode of Your Voice Matter, where we're going to have lots of great conversation. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to share, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. May you be blessed. Okay, thank you for showing up. See you next time. Thank you for listening. See you on the next episode of Your Voice Matters.